Hey everyone! I found a new place to write. Is that opening like really cheesy? So, why am I writing in my closet? Am I just being like totally ridiculous? I'm writing in my closet. Yes, I have just set up this writing office. I've got like lights in there. I've got my vision board in there. I've got my desk, and it should be a really nice place for me to write, but it is not because it is not quiet. And guess what? I have found that the most quiet room in my house is my closet. And this is so bizarre. Like, you would not think that the closet would be the ideal place to write, but it's turning out really well for me. So I thought I would make a video and tell you all about it. And maybe some writers out there are like me and they need absolute silence to write. And so maybe you want to also set up your closet to write in. So first of all, why am I writing in my closet? Well, as you can guess, obviously I need quiet to write. Now, this started back in February. Where I live in eastern North Carolina, February tends to be the time of year where the birds start to make a lot of noise, right? I guess they're just getting ready for spring or whatever, but in particular, there's this one bird that I hate the most, and it is the northern mockingbird. This bird is so annoying, and last year, I remember I wrote on my calendar, and it was sometime in February that he made an appearance, and then this year, like right on schedule, he was back. I'm sure you've heard mockingbirds before. They are probably one of the most annoying birds on the planet, and they will just make any kind of sound that they can. Like, they copy sounds of other birds, they copy sounds of like car alarms or, you know, whatever it is, and they will have like, all these different bird calls that they'll make in rapid succession. Like, it'll be one call that they make, and then they switch to another one, and they switch to another one. Like, I'm sure you have heard this annoying bird. That is the bird that lives in my backyard. Every spring and summertime, or maybe all year round, I don't know, he is there. But the springtime is when he is at his noisiest. So I really wanted to like get away from this annoying bird, and like what I like to do is I like to go out into the kitchen in the morning, and I like to make my coffee and eat my cereal and, check in on Twitter, and then I like to write, and I'm sitting right at the table anyway. It's like the perfect place for me to write. Except it's not, because of this bird. This bird is just like ruining my writing time. Listen to how loud these birds are. Now, I know people have suggested to me to buy the special headphones that cancel all the noise out. And while that is a good suggestion, and it definitely is something I guess I could consider in the future, but to be honest, I don't really know if I want to wear headphones like when I'm writing. Like, I feel like just having something on my head like that, having something over my ears, would just kind of be distracting. Like, I don't know. I just feel like when I'm on headphones at work, when we're doing like our Teams meetings and stuff, like, it's just kind of annoying to have that thing like over your head. So I don't know if that would work. And then like the other thing is that when I looked online on Amazon, I saw that some of them were like kind of expensive. They were like, like $300 or something. And if I'm going to spend $300 on something, I want to make sure that it blocks out the sound of birds. I just want to make sure. And so I did a Google search on, I think, a few of them, and I was trying to like find out, does it block out the specific noise? And I kind of like just found some vague answers, and it kind of seemed like no, it wouldn't necessarily be a guarantee. So I don't really know if I want to buy the headphones. And plus, I don't know if I want to spend that much money. And also, I would rather spend my money on other things, like books. So, there you have it. So, what I needed to do was I needed to find an alternate solution to my problem. So, I was in my office for a while, and while the sound in my office is a little bit more quieter, it's not completely quiet because there's still a window there. It still kind of is into my backyard a little bit where all the trees are. and I could still hear the birds. Maybe not as loud, because in the kitchen I have like a sliding glass door that leads directly out to the backyard. But in the office, like, I could still kind of hear the birds. So unfortunately, that's not an option. Then the other problem that I have, in addition to the birds, I should say, I have another problem, and that is traffic noise. So where I live, my neighborhood is very close to a very busy highway, and then right around the back side of my neighborhood, there is an interstate, like an interstate bypass. So in the mornings, and it always varies, like, it's never like right on time. Like, it's just, it always varies. Like, some days are quieter than others. Like, I guess Sundays are usually quiet. But unfortunately, there are some mornings that I have a lot of traffic noise, a lot of highway noise, and it's very annoying. That's also very distracting. So I had to figure out a solution to this problem, because I really desperately want to write in the morning, but I just could not get any peace and quiet. And maybe I should consider myself lucky, because, you know, I don't have kids or anything. So I don't have kids, I don't have pets. And so my house is generally very quiet, but it's just not because of those stupid birds. So why my closet? Well, I remember reading a while back about podcasters, because I'm really into podcasts, you know, and I was reading about how podcasters sometimes do a podcast in their closet. Like, they record the podcast in their closet because they say the audio is so much better. And so I was thinking to myself, you know what? If it's that quiet for them to do an audio recording, maybe it's quiet enough for me to write. I don't know. So there was one like really noisy morning that bird was just going off. And by the way, it's not just the mockingbird. It tends to be other birds as well. The mockingbird is just the one that's most annoying. But I decided, hey, I'm going to go into my closet and see how quiet it is. So I went to this closet right here. I closed the doors and I just stood in the closet for like a minute. And I couldn't hear anything. Like, the only thing that I remember hearing was the air vent, because I have a vent, a ceiling vent in my closet, which that doesn't bother me. Like, white noise doesn't bother me. It's only when it's annoying that it bothers me. And so then when I stepped out of the closet and I went back to the kitchen, because I just wanted to make sure, you know, are the birds like still going off? Like, it's still loud, right? Went into the kitchen. It was noisy. I could totally hear the birds. But when I was in this closet, I couldn't hear like hardly anything. In fact, the only thing that I've noticed that I can hear when I'm in my closet is there is a neighbor that I have that lives across the street, and he's got like one of those big trucks. Like, whenever he starts it up in the morning, you know, it's, you know, that room, you know, and he will leave it running for like 15-20 minutes or so, and he'll like, I guess he's like waiting for it to warm up or something, and then he goes back into his house and he lets it run, and it just sits out there and it rumbles and it rumbles and it rumbles. But he always leaves at different times. He never leaves at a set time. Like, sometimes he'll leave at 5:20 in the morning, sometimes he'll leave at 6:20 in the morning, sometimes it's after 7. Like, it's always a different time. So not every morning is ruined by his loud truck. But that seems to be the only sound that I can hear. Now, unless there's a bird, which this is really rare, unless there is a bird that is in the tree outside my front yard, because my bedroom faces the front yard, if there is a bird in that tree, I may hear it. But it's very rare for there to be bird like on that side. Like, they tend to always be in the back, because I got a lot of pine trees that are in the back, and that's where they always tend to hang out. They don't really hang out that much in the front yard. So I've been writing my closet since February, and every morning that I have sat there in the closet, it has just been such a quiet experience. Like, I can actually hear myself think. And it's amazing. Like, I love it so much. And I'm definitely going to recommend that if you are one of those people that needs a really quiet writing space, or maybe you have like a really loud family and you just need to get away from them, try writing in the closet. Like, I don't know, this has just been working out really, really well for me. And I've even discovered that at other times of day, like say if it's not a noisy time of day, like I don't hear any traffic noises, I don't hear any birds, I still find myself wanting to come and write in my closet because it's just like I can tune everything out. You know, I don't have to hear like the refrigerator humming or, you know, like any other sounds that might be outside that maybe typically wouldn't bother me, although it seems like now more and more noises bother me. Like I just have to have silence. Now that I'm just getting spoiled by all the silence in here, it's like I just want to write where it's just quiet, you know, and I can hear myself think, I can hear my characters like talking in my head. This has been really great. Now, there have been just a few things that I want to kind of change about my setup. Let me show you what I am currently doing, like how I'm doing this, and let me show you what I think I want to change. Okay, so this is what I've been doing. I have this little storage bin right here where I just keep like bags and stuff. But I've noticed that this is like the perfect height for me to sit my iPad right here. So I sit my iPad right here, and then I have my little keyboard right here. And this little light, I like to use this little, like I guess it's called a puck light or something. It's some kind of little energizer light. I have discovered that this light right here is the perfect light for me in the morning because in the morning it's dark. I like writing when it's dark, but I like to have a little bit of light. So what I end up doing is I turn this light on and I kind of put it like right behind my iPad. I'll see if I can show you. So this is like the light that I use every morning. It's just the perfect amount of light just in this little space. And usually what I do is I just kind of tuck it right behind my iPad, so I'm not like staring right at it. And then of course I have, you know, my keyboard right here with the backlit keyboard, which I love. And this is just the perfect amount of light for me to do my writing in the morning. Now the other thing I have is this pillow right here. And what I like to do is I like to sit this pillow right here in my lap. And I would take my keyboard and I just kind of rest the keyboard on the pillow. And that way it's just kind of like a good height for me to just type and stuff. But the only problem is that I keep having to move this pillow. Like, I love this pillow. This is just like my everything pillow. Like, I like to put this in my bed at night, and like I'm a side sleeper, so I like to just like rest my arm on it. And then I like to have this pillow in my chair in the living room because it's just, again, it's just a good place for me to like prop my arm and stuff. Or if I'm working on my laptop, I like to have this, and then like I'll have like my little laptop fan thing. Although I don't really use the fan function anymore because I think it's broke, but like it's still like a good like place for me to sit my laptop. So I'll sit my laptop in here and I'll sit on the chair and type. But what always happens is that I'll go right in my closet. I'll get everything set up right. Like I'll have my water, right here. Got my water, got my light, got my iPad, my keyboard. And then as soon as I like sit down, I'm like, oh yeah, I need my pillow. Writing in the closet has come with a few challenges. So the problem I have is that it's not always comfortable because I don't really have anywhere to lean my back against. Like sometimes what I'll do is I'll close these doors, and that's another challenge. Like these doors right here, there's no handle on this side. So what I have to do is just kind of like stick my fingers. So what I have to do is just like stick my fingers under here and just like pull it close. Not very convenient, but it's fine. I've kind of learned this trick from all the times I've had to hide in this closet from my niece when we're playing hide and go seek, and that's just the way you have to close this closet door. You just kind of have to close it from the bottom. But what I would do sometimes is I'll close this door and I will like lean against the door. I'll lean my back against this door, which I can do, but if I'm not careful, if I lean back too much, it pops open. So sometimes I'm like sitting there and it's like, oh, about to fall back, And so not really an ideal solution because, either I lean back here and I risk falling back, or I don't have anything to rest my back against, and I don't want to like start causing myself pain issues. So I need to figure out what I can do. Like, how can I make this work better? How can I set up my writing space in my closet? Because my closet's actually really kind of junky, as most closets are. But the thing is, I don't really want to necessarily remove things from my closet, because here's the thing, the more things you have in your closet, the more sound is absorbed, right? And I've got like all of these clothes right here. Like, I think the clothes is really the biggest thing that absorbs all the sound. So I got plenty of clothes in here. And then I've got like some bedding material, like an old comforter and like a mattress pad. And, you know, so I've got like some soft things in here. And plus also the room is carpeted as well. So there's some good sound absorbing things in this closet. But I don't necessarily want to clear it out, because if you've ever, you know, been in an empty room, like if you're moving and, you know, you walk into this room and there's no furniture in there, and you talk, there's a loud echo, right? Because your sound is like bouncing off the walls, and there's no furniture in there to absorb it. And then, you know, once you fill up the room with furniture, you don't really hear that echo anymore. So I don't want to remove things. I just want to make this a nicer space for me to write. And, you know, maybe I need something then I can set my water on, you know. That would be nice. I used to have this little, like, short little, like, computer desk thing. And that was nice for a while. But I ended up getting rid of it. And now I wish I still had it. But it was like, it was kind of like, I don't even know how to describe it. But it was like, kind of like a little tray that, and the legs folded up. It was like a little wooden table, and it had legs that folded up, and you could like lay in bed and you could have it over there, and I guess you could like use it as a breakfast tray if you wanted to, right? But it was like, you know, you would sit your computer there. And so I wish I still had that, but unfortunately I don't. But this little storage bin that I've gotten here that I sit my iPad on, it's actually the perfect height. So, I mean, I'll just keep using that because that's going to be in the closet anyway. So, why not? Alright, so I am going to work on my closet. I'm going to make a list. So, I want to find something and I've got something. I've got something that I need something better than this pillow. Even though I love this pillow, I need something better to sit my keyboard on. So I think I've got something that'll work. And then I'm satisfied with the lights. I don't think I need any more lighting in here because it's the perfect amount of light. I'm one of those weird people that likes to write when it's dark. I actually kind of get sad when the sun starts to come up, because when the sun starts to come up, especially like on a weekday when I know I have to go to work soon, it's like when the sun comes up, I know my writing time is almost over and I'm bummed. So I like writing in the closet where it's dark and I don't have to like see any light until I open the door, obviously. And even though I don't have like a clock in here, like I have the clock on my iPad, and I like to just set a timer so that way if I get carried away in my writing, I'll still have that timer go off and I'll know that it's time to stop. And then like the other thing that I need is, you know, something to support my back, or I need a more comfortable way to sit. So I'm going to play around with some things in this closet, and hopefully when I'm done, this will be a much better place for me to write. Okay, I think I'm on to something. So I put a beanbag chair in the closet just to see how it would work. And while the beanbag is comfortable to sit on, it is so big that it takes up so much room in the closet that I don't know if it's going to work. And when I used the beanbag chair, I didn't really have like a lot of room. Like I had to kind of sit the storage bin right here, and I was kind of looking at it sideways, and I don't know, I don't think that's going to work. But I think what will work is if I sit against the wall. That way at least I have a place to rest my back, and I don't have to worry about, you know, the door falling out behind me. and I can just turn this bin around. Probably can't even see. So if I turn this bin around like this, I can actually sit against the wall, and I'll probably actually have this bin like maybe a little bit closer right there. But I think that will work. Now I also have this thing right here. I don't really know what it is, like laptop desk or something or other. And my sister gave this to me because she didn't need it anymore. She didn't want it anymore. She thought she would use it. She never did. And I said, yeah, I'll take it. And I haven't really used this all that much because it's kind of big. And so when I'm sitting in my chair, I actually have something else that I sit my laptop on. But I'm thinking for the closet, this is going to be perfect because it's actually got this little like cushion right here. You see, it's got this really soft, like a bean bag chair. It's like a bean bag. And so I can sit cross-legged like I usually do and sit this on my lap. And then like this part right here is kind of, it's not really, it's a little firm, but it's not like too hard. And then I could just sit my keyboard on top like here and like so, and I can type. So I think that's gonna work. So I think I'm gonna like it that way. Now, I don't know, I feel like having the storage bin face that way takes up a lot of room. Maybe I'll keep it like that. Maybe like that? Yeah. Maybe I'll keep it like that because I could probably still just turn it like this. You know, type like that. I think that'll work. I think that'll work, yeah. So I think that will work. Now the other thing I did was, look right here in the closet. I've got this little, what are these things called? It's like an end table, like a TV tray or something. I put my water on top of there. So hey, I have a place to sit my water. Now the only problem now I have is that I have a suitcase that was in my closet that was sitting here and I don't really have room for it. So I think I'm going to have to just do some more rearranging in my closet so I can get room for that. You guys probably don't want to see all of that because there's a lot of organization I need to do in this closet right now. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to see how the setup works. And if it works for me, great. I'm going to continue to write in my closet until it gets less noisy outside. Which I'm thinking that's not going to be until winter because I know for a fact that last year, that mockingbird, he was still making noise in the summertime, but he was making a different noise last year. Because I remember last year, I kept hearing like this, like, you know, chirp, chirp, chirp noise, and I couldn't figure out like what it was coming from. Like it just was constantly like all day. And my thought was, is it baby birds? Like, is there like baby birds and they're hungry and they're in their nests and they're like waiting for their mom to feed them a worm or something? Like these baby birds are crying like all day. And then what I realized is I looked out my backyard and I saw that mockingbird on my fence. And so I saw his beak moving and then I heard that little chirp sound that he was making. So it was that mockingbird. It was the mockingbird. And he was like flying around like there were these other mockingbirds, and it was like he was like trying to chase them out of his territory, and he was like trying to like call for a mate or something. Like, I don't know, but so I might be writing in this closet for a while until his birds like fly south or something, right? But anyway, I'm going to try this out for a while. I'm going to try the setup, see how it works. If it doesn't work, I'll tweak it. But yeah, I think this is going to really work. I mean, it's already worked out. Like, it's just such a quiet place to write. So I think this is going to be awesome. So if you want to set up your own little writing space in a quiet place, check out your closet. Like, hopefully you have a big enough closet to do this. Hopefully your closet is not too messy. I've heard of like people who set up like a home office in their closet. Like they make that their own office space. And so there must be something to it. Now, I don't know how this is going to go, like, against other kinds of sounds, like lawnmowers, and, you know, I've already know that trucks outside, outside my window, it doesn't really block out the noise for that, but lawnmowers and leaf blowers and, you know, all those other things, I don't know how good it's going to block out the noise for that. So I guess we'll test it out and we'll find out. Well, anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. If you found it helpful, give me a thumbs up because it helps other people find my channel. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye!